13 years, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
2009, so June of 2009. And
So that's probably a lot of change in
yeah,
in the office and that, and
yeah,
how things are
and
taught.
the industry and the office and everything. There's a few people who've been here longer than I have, but so it's good. And then I was at another place for a couple years before coming here. Have a small team. Started out just myself, and then in about 2012 started growing a team. Just every year grew a little more. Always looking to grow still. But what? Tell me about yourself. What? Where are you from? What brings you here? Have you been selling real estate for long, or just getting started?
Well, I got my license about a year ago.
Mhm.
It was in November. And I had some franchise businesses that I owned. And COVID, they were hair salons. COVID just killed them. People not wanting to work. So I started to do something, wanted to do something else. And before that, I did that for the last 5 years. But before that, I was in the mall management business. I was manager of Provo Town Center.
Mhm.
And several other places. I'm from Utah. So I mean, industry changes and I was like, I just need to do something that is not corporate driven, and something that I can do even through retirement, for a long time. Just keep me going and I'm always real estate's always interested me. And I've always had this in the back of my mind. It's probably why I got into the mall management business in the first place. She's just kind of a really glorified property manager. So,
Mhm.
but I think I'm gonna do this other side. Really
So you
excited.
owned hair salons or managed
Yeah, I
booth
owned
rentals or like
They
what?
weren't booth rentals. I owned a franchise called Fantastic Sam's.
Okay.
I bought 6 of them actually, which was probably not a good thing. I sold 3, and then the last 2 or 3 years I've been trying to sell the other 3.
Mhm.
So for last year, it was really difficult to do both this and to keep my business running and try to stay on top of it. So
Mhm.
I was like, finally, in July, I sold the final 3 businesses.
So you're done with it. Fantastic
Done with
Sam's.
it, yeah.
Boy, you see the name, but like, where were they at? I can't
So there's
put my
one,
finger on it.
in Springville. That's right by the Walmart there in Springville, close
Mm-hmm.
to Walmart. And then there's the other ones I owned were, one of those in Draper, 14 South 7 East. And then several, before I sold several in West Jordan and West Valley.
Do they focus on men's or women's
Both.
hair?
It's a full service. Yeah, so I recommend that.
My wife is a cosmetologist. She's been doing hair for same time. I got it. She got into hair at the same time I got into real estate. So 15-ish years.
Who does she work for?
She was out of a salon in Spanish Fork where we live for a handful of years called Naturally Yours. For probably the last 8 years, it's been out of our house.
Yeah. Well, there's so much competition for it. So many people doing it, not only out of their house, but other places.
Morning.
It makes it even more.
Oh yeah,
difficult.
totally.
Competition. Morning.
Well, the amount of money people, specifically women, are willing to spend on their hair is outrageous to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get a color and a cut, and you're $150. So,
Every 8 weeks.
yeah.
I did the math and I can't remember what it was. Like, if my children and I, got regular hair services throughout, it was like tens of thousands of dollars. It was pretty funny. What's your name?
Joel.
Joel. I'm Dan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Scott, where were you at before you came here for a few months?
So I was just in that doing the franchise.
No, real, because you said you got licensed in November,
Oh, yeah, just here.
so you've been here the whole time.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I've been here the whole time. I came off and on to a few nights, but I just couldn't be consistent, and it was kind of, I mean, that was hard. I just needed to be consistent,
Okay,
and it was hard, so I wasn't consistent.
Gotcha.
with us.
and Joel, where are you at in your business? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I passed my test like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I finally got my license number, so I can
Nice.
like actually start now.
Why'd you choose Keller Williams?
My dad actually works here.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Who is it?
John Buckner.
Oh, okay.
He said this place has one of the best trainings in like the country. So
What's your band's name? Pool House.
Yeah, it's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay.
And then I go and help them at like shows and stuff in the morning, so like this is like part-time for now, but I
Mhm.
guess, but I want to make it full-time eventually.
Oh, that is on this.
Oh, I was gonna say, I
Yeah,
couldn't even see that.
Use the mouse right there.
Alrighty, thanks for being here. My name's Dan. It's Ignite Session 6 for your database. I might stick to the material here. We might deviate and just talk about whatever I feel like talking about that's important to you guys. So my best advice to you to start off would be get really serious about having an organized database. You've got to be able to communicate with a large group of people in a systematized way in order to like create that top of mind awareness that we're trying to create within our people. When they think real estate, they need to think about Scott and Joel. And if we don't have any organization to that, it's just, we're never going to have the success of creating that top of mind awareness that we need.
Sorry, what's your last name?
Kennedy. And as long as I've got you here, right now, UCAR on the MLS, UCAR leadership positions, there's elections happening. So when you log into the MLS, you can vote for me because my name's on the ballot for first vice president. You might not know what that is, but I'm happy to talk more about it to you at another time, or you can just go in there on the MLS and it'll prompt you to vote. And there's a bunch of other people in our brokerage right now on the ballot for board of directors. Student council is probably the best way I could describe that easily. Okay, let's see how I'm trying to figure out how to even move through the slides here. This is so confusing.
Because it's Apple.
No, it's I'm used to okay, so we're looking at a Zoom screen. Where are these slides? Like, just like move forward and backward out of them.
Yeah. Okay. There we're back. Enter.
This will do it. I doubt it, but.
Want me to run up and grab,
Um, How do I back to full screen?
Right hand corner.
Sorry, guys. What is going on here for reals?
See if you can double click just the whole thing.
What is that?
Is that like a separate window that you pulled out of your other window? If you put it back in your tabs, would that?
Hunter set this up for me. I'm just gonna, let's see. Slideshow view, there we go. All right. We're here, grow your database. Today's agenda. Build your database, feed it, communicate with it, service it. Recap some ahas. Joel, you want to read that for us?
Yeah. Database is your business. Building up a number of names and relationship with those names is really at the very core of what building a real estate business is all about.
Great, thank you. What are your thoughts about that?
Real estate's built around people, knowing people. Getting to know people.
Right, networking. Gotta know, the more people you know, the more opportunities you're gonna have to connect with people, and they're gonna think of you to sell their house or help them buy a house. If you don't know very many people and you are not willing to put yourself out there, well, you're not gonna have as many opportunities to get the business. I am not like a networking behavioral type of person. Like, that's not who I am at my core. It's just like a learned thing that over 15 years I've had to become willing to do, to put myself out there in a way to network with people and to just create relationships with them. Very, very critical. Hello. What's going on? Kidding me? Database define, which part of the lead generation and database model represents your database? Lead generation, relationship management, or client and referral loop? What do you think?
Which part of the lead generation? Right now, I'm in the lead capture.
Okay.
Just because I'm really new.
Yeah. So you've got something set up, Scott, like you have a database set up. What are you
Last night,
using?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you using?
I just downloaded my Outlook contacts into my database, into the
Command?
Yeah.
Joel, are you using Command as well?
I will, but I haven't got
Okay.
it set up yet.
Great. I am not particularly familiar with Command. I don't use it. What I use is something probably very similar. It's just different. Does all the same things. We'll look into mine because that's what I've got to show you.
Well, they have a very, I mean, the whole training program right now has a lot revolving around Command.
Mhm.
So, and it's included with Keller Williams. stuff,
Right.
So,
It's free.
yeah.
You don't have to pay for it. I'm paying for mine. Your integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform for running and growing your business. 4 laws of a database. Build it, feed it every day, communicate with it systematically, service all leads. I'm gonna get into mine and show
Yeah,
you.
tell us about your database.
show you-
Give us ideas.
Yeah. If you ever log into an office computer, do not leave your database logged in. Oops. Okay, so here's Follow Up Boss. There's 6,725 people in my database right now. Some of those are realtors, like on a marketing campaign. That these are not all leads. It's probably like 500 of these names are like realtors in a marketing recruiting campaign.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just real estate people that we've come across over the years. So this is, I guess in the first few years, I was not particularly organized with the database whatsoever. Like literally my system was sticky notes and like a desktop calendar in my cubicle, which was not effective. And in the beginning, 90% of my time was calling for sell by owners and expireds. So like 15 years ago. And that's where my business was coming from. Zero organization, zero structure, just phone calls. If I got a name, I'd go on appointment. I didn't have anything to keep track of these people.
Yeah.
So at one point, I realized, like 90% of my time was cold calling FSBOs and expireds, and it was yielding like 40% of my deals. Like it was working, but 10% of my time was networking with my sphere of influence, and it was yielding 40% of my closings. So I'm like, why am I spending 90% of my time to get the 40%? I'm going to increase the 10% SOI. That's just working with people who know you, like you, and trust you so much easier than like cold calling for sell by owners. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So these are all sorts of different categories of people. So Sphere is somebody who we know, they know me, they like me, hopefully they trust me. Nurture is just a name that came to us. They're probably 12 to 24 months out from doing something. Graveyard, that they don't get a call. Like we're not wasting my team's not wasting our time calling people in Graveyard. They'll get emails from us, and like there might be a 1 in a million chance that something clicks on and they do respond to an email, but like it's so cold that there's other people for us to be calling.
Yeah.
So like this came in 5 years The database shows like the follow-up, which appears to be fairly weak. Like just relying on automated texts and automated emails going out. It looks like we never actually made a phone call to this Troy Ethington person who came to us in December of 2017. It looks like I added it manually and then assigned it to somebody. Yeah, poor follow-up, poor note-taking. I don't even know where this lead came from. So that's something that we call graveyard. So let's see. So let's take a look at Sphere. So in so let's take Dan's SOI would be a category. No, wrong one. So in my sphere of influence, there are 478 people in my sphere of influence. You want full contact information, name, phone number, both spouses should be in there, and both spouses' email address.
So what's the reason when you say both spouses? And I'm just building my database, so usually most of them are like my friend, but I don't have my friend's wife, for example. You know what I mean? What's the benefit of having both spouses? And because of what I'm thinking about is when I call these guys for the first time or have talked to them, and even in my sphere.
Hey, can I talk to your wife?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just want to figure out, hey, I'm building my database. I'm gonna put, so-and-so in it, I just want to know, when you say put them and their wife, what's the wife, can we do something different? Oh, and I know the wife is a very big on, sometimes the wife leads.
They're the
it.
decision
My
maker,
wife, yeah, the wife's a decision maker in real estate, we could be looking at, I could live in a small house, but my wife would say, I'm not living there because I'm thinking about my kids, my grandkids, and my visitors, and what I mean?
So that's a great question, Scott. And each spouse knows a handful of realtors. They just do. Sometimes you might have a great connection with the husband or with the wife, and you don't even know the other spouse. And sometimes the other spouse is the one who's actually making, like, we're hiring my person. So you might, if when appropriate and when possible, you might as well be creating the top of mind awareness with both spouses, just because you never really know for sure the dynamics of their relationship and who, so to speak, wears the pants when it comes to hiring a realtor. Plus, if it's like that, okay, this is a past client, my team sold the house to these people, or a person on my team sold the house to these people. So Erica Brown, the agent on our team, who is no longer in the business. So they kind of like Virginia and Jason Huntsman kind of like fell to me and as a part of my SOI. And I need to now like start building a relationship with them because Erica's no longer even selling real estate. So I don't know why she didn't get one of the spouse's phone numbers in here. At least we have both of their email addresses. So that's an example of something that I would need to clean up, and hey, we need to get Virginia's number in there or Jason's number in there. So we can start like building that relationship, because someday, like, they've been in this house now for probably 2 years. Maybe it's only been a year, I don't know. Okay, so they were under contract in January of 2021. So they're coming up on 2 years in the house. They're going to sell this house eventually. Like I need to have we need to regain that top of mind awareness with Virginia and Jason, because now that Erica's gone, like, they don't know me from Adam hardly. maybe they've been to one of our movie events, or they see our emails, or they see our postcards. They probably know who I am to some degree. So another benefit of like this Follow Up Boss, and it's going to be the same way in Command, it like logs all the phone calls, the emails, the text messages that go out of Follow Up Boss. It's all here, so you can see the communication. And so you can judge yourself, okay, am I communicating with these people at a high enough level? So I can text them out of here. And then it'll log it. I can send them an email out of Follow Up Boss. I can just like make notes out of Follow Up Boss. I can set a task for myself. Like, okay, a task has been created for January 12th, 2023 to send them like, hey, hey guys, congrats on your 2-year anniversary in the house. Like, let us know if there's anything we could do for you. This is synced with our website, utahhomehub.com. So when they are set up and they're searching on our website, I know what they've been clicking on. They're not on our website. So let me find an example of somebody who is. Okay, so this guy, Chad Helms, he's been on our website and he's been clicking on stuff. It's been a while now, 4 years ago since we helped him buy. So when somebody's actively looking, this helps us keep track of what they're checking out, what they're clicking on. At a glance, I can come over here and see who the most people have been visiting our website are. So Dan Woodward here, I've been in touch with him for at least 8 years now. So he got entered into Follow Up Boss on October 2014. He does a lot of searching on our website. So I can come here and I can see, all right, what's catching Dan Woodward's eye? Okay, he clicked on this house in Spanish Fork 7 hours ago. So like he might be needing a call from me because he appears to be like, he doesn't know it, but I'm spying on what he's doing. I can see when he's clicking on, what he's clicking on, and like what's catching his eye at this point in time. He might just be a looky-loo and he's addicted to looking at real estate online. I don't know. So that's very powerful. Any questions about what you're seeing here? So don't worry about all the other stuff. I would focus more on just getting your people into Command in an organized way: name, phone number, email address. So you downloaded all your people from Outlook and you were able to like upload that list into Command?
Yeah,
How did that go?
it took a little while to figure it out because I thought I had to put it into iCloud first and I didn't realize. Well, over the years, I've had several different emails and I'm from the old school Outlook where everyone used Outlook at first and now people are all using Gmail. So that's a different system.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always kind of gravitated towards Outlook. So it downloaded into a CSV,
Mm-hmm.
or comma separated or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
regular file, and then the command actually can upload it. So it's just not unorganized yet. There's lots of names in there, like from the past. I have no tags or anything, so I've really got to just start going through it now and tagging people and setting up systems to reach out and stuff. So I'm really it takes a lot longer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Because even just one person you can spend 5 minutes on. getting them all the information.
Exactly.
So, and if I downloaded 380, so
Mhm.
that's a lot of 5 minutes.
That's great. That's a good place to start though at 380. Looks like we've got a couple people online. Aaron and Kason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Aaron,
that's-
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can. Kason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for jumping on here. So yeah, like Scott said, it can take probably up to 5 minutes, like per contact, just to like add some notes, get it dialed in, get the, maybe you may or may not have their email address. You should have their phone number. Like if you know them well enough to add them into your database, you probably have a phone number for them.
Most of mine are phone numbers.
And this is, you've had this list of people for years and years. Some people have maybe changed their number.
Yeah.
As realtors and members of the Utah Central Association of Realtors, we have access to something called Forewarn. Has anybody here ever heard of Forewarn? It's an app. I think it's like $5 a month. You can pull up quite a bit of information on people through Forewarn. You can look up criminal records. Like I can type in your phone number in here, Scott, and see if you have any speeding tickets, criminal records, felony, bankruptcies. Like there's a ton of information, like your most, all your addresses you've ever lived at, any recent phone numbers associated with you. So when it comes to database management, I highly recommend you reach out to UCAR and they can get you set up with Forewarn. It's invaluable when tracking down people.
So UCAR sets you up with that.
Yes, like we have, like it's a subsidized rate of $5 a month, so it's $60 a year. And it's also powerful for women who are like, okay, I had a weird conversation with this person. They wanted to meet me in the office after hours, or they wanted me to meet them at this house. Like I'm a little sketched out by them. I'm going to look them up in Forewarn, see if they
If there's any flags.
if there's any red flags. My brother reached out to me a week ago. He's like, hey, my sister-in-law is like dating somebody. We got a weird vibe from this guy. Can you look him up on that app you have? I looked him. He had like 90 criminal, like not records, but like instances of, it could be, forgery. It was like a laundry list of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it could be a bad dude, like proceed with caution, So plus when you have 300 names, or I have like 6,000 names in our database, like people's numbers change all the time and you lose track of them. Forewarn is a great way to keep up with them.
In case, say you have someone's number on here, you could reference, oh, it's not working, or someone else answers, then you could go back on Forewarn and
Cross-check it. Yeah.
Cross-check and see if there's a new number,
Correct.
and then reach out to the new number.
One of my very, very first clients, probably 14, 15 years ago, completely lost track of them. I thought they had disappeared off the face of the earth. They not responding to anything. When Forewarn, I got Forewarn, I was like able to track them down again. Some people are honestly like, how the heck did you get my number? I just say my database is really intuitive and it scrubs, it finds you like,
Yeah.
so very, very good, useful tool to get phone numbers that you might not otherwise be having. Joel, where are you at with your database? Have you gotten started in Command yet?
No, not yet. I still need to set everything I've been getting on the MLS and all that. I have to pay all the fees still.
Yeah. Does John get much into a database that you're aware of?
I think he uses Command, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know he has something because he knows a ton of people.
He knows a lot of people.
Yeah,
He's very well connected.
He's gotta have something to keep track of it, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay. All right. Feed your database. Feed it every day. Prospecting, marketing. What do you suppose the difference between prospecting and marketing is? Is there a difference?
Prospecting is getting new people, and marketing is convincing those people that you have, or not convincing them, or showing them the new product. And is that what would you say?
To me, marketing might be more like a mailing campaign or an internet campaign, or like a like a passive way you're casting a net, and some people might be raising their hand or giving indication that, yeah, call me. Where I would like prospecting might be, okay, I'm going out, I'm knocking on these 100 doors, or I'm calling these 50 names for sell by owners or expired listings. And I'm like more of a proactive approach to like go out there and kill something and drag it back to the cave.
Yeah, I guess marketing, you're doing a broad campaign.
Yeah.
And hoping someone just comes from your information.
So the value of your sphere will generate new, repeat, or referral business. So Gary Keller says the most effective is going to be marketing-based, prospecting, enhanced lead generation. Welcome. So marketing-based, prospecting, enhanced. You gotta be doing both. If you're solely based on prospecting, like I was in the beginning, remember I said 90% of my time was prospecting based for sell by owners and lead gen or expireds. When you stop making calls, what happens?
You stop getting people.
Yeah, like you're
communicating,
Yeah.
making touches.
Yeah, when you stop those outbound calls, everything's done. But if you have like a duplicatable sphere that can generate business through events, phone calls, marketing, like it can produce on its own without you having to go dig something up. What was your name, by the way?
Karen.
Karen. Oh, hi, Karen.
Yes, hi.
Yes. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that, like, so you're just trying to dig something up. And so if you're gonna hit 100 houses or whatever, maybe you'll get one, maybe. And then, but if you are making sure you're seeing your sphere every day, then you could actually get them and everybody they know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they have a ratio for this. There's no marker, but it's 20-2. So for every 20 people in your database who are properly marketed to and called 4 times a year, it should yield 2 deals a year. I'm gonna go grab a marker from another room real quick. I want to write this up on the board.
Sure.
Karen, where did you get your name badge? And have you been a member for a long time?
About a year.
About a year? And was it Molly who helped you get it?
Yes, Molly, she said that, or, I think it's Molly, or ask Molly,
That's Molly.
ask Molly Molly might still be the person that does it.
So
Did you just grab
20-2 ratio. Well, you might say, well, I've done math. Why isn't it not 10-1? It's the same thing, right? So 10 for every
Okay.
10 people in your database should be 1 deal of themselves buying or selling a house or investing. 10-1 will be one of those people referring a deal that you don't already know. So 10-1 the deal themselves, 10-1 is a deal that comes to you as a referral from somebody that they know. Very, very important. Now, Scott, you just put 350 people in there. can you expect a 20 to 2 results right off the bat?
No, not right off the bat.
Probably not, because like you have not yet had the time to create that top of mind awareness. Like you now have like the structure in place and you're gonna feed it and cultivate it and grow it. You gotta water the grass, right? It's not gonna grow without watering the grass. And so this like that's the 33 touches of like, or 36 touches of SOI marketing. That's probably a different class. We're not gonna get too far into that. But just keep 36 touch, you'll hear a lot. That's 2 emails a month, postcard a month, 2 events a year, 4 phone calls, some social media touches. You add it all up, and it's about 36 bits of communication throughout the year that's creating like that top of mind awareness in their mind that Karen is my gal. When I need to have a real estate need, she's my go-to because she's earned my trust and like that's who we would want to work with. The research in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and that, have you guys read that book yet?
I've started it. But
It's old by now. It's like, I mean, I read it when I was in your shoes and it was like 4 to 5. It's close to 20 years old by now, probably. So I think honestly, the data has probably changed. But it was like, I think 76% of sellers meet with the first agent, or no, they list with the first agent they meet with.
That's a pretty big number.
I think it's 69% of buyers buy with the first agent they meet with in person. So like 31%, or they're gonna like maybe go through an agent or 2 until they find somebody that they hit it off with. Buyers just come across more agents than sellers do because like open
looking.
houses, or they call the sign, can you show me the house? You know, they're just gonna have more interactions with multiple agents most likely than sellers. Because sellers don't really, they're not gonna broadcast to the world that, hey, I'm about to sell my house. Like
Yeah.
their first step might be decluttering or selling some stuff. They don't need a realtor. They're not coming across a realtor in that phase, right? But when they're ready to go, then they're gonna meet with realtors. Like some for sale by owners, they'll literally meet with 5 people because they are gonna go to the ends of the earth to make sure. Sometimes they're just looking to hear the right thing, you know, or they'll interview 3 or 4 agents just to get a feel for who they like the best. But if when you've done the 36 touches and you've built that top of mind awareness and you can show up at their house and speak intelligently and they trust you, know you, like you, like they're probably going to be ready to be working with you. Any questions about any of this?
So do you think that the statistics are this, I'm close to the same, like 76%? And because that's what it says in the Millionaire.
So in the book, it actually gives 12 to 2, but I think Keller Williams as a whole has gone away from this. And this is not in the book.
What
It's
about the
just-
sellers, the percentage?
I'm not exactly sure.
But that's what,
And these may be off. It's something
it's.
right around.
But we get
this.
the idea.
Yeah,
There's a large 3/4, if you could say,
Yeah.
3/4 of the people will use the first person,
Mhm.
and nearly 3/4 of the buyers.
Mhm.
So I mean, if you could be using that in general terms.
So
This is just a good thing you remember.
I would focus on this. So like for now, we'll use you, Scott, as an example. You've got 350 people in there. You might call them and you might weed some out, you put some new ones in, it evolves, it's always changing. But if you can think of, okay, for every 10 names in there, I'm gonna have a deal, that could be 35 deals if done properly. And you display to them a level of competence and professionalism and trust. And everybody's trust factor with their people is different. Like yours is different from mine, mine's different from yours. Some people just have it, whatever that means. There's a gal on my team, she's new. she has, in 8 months here, she's blown me away at the level at which her people trust her. Like, she's just got like that stickiness factor, like people esteem her in like the highest regard which is not easy for Brando. I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was like down here in that level at which like people looked at 27-year-old Dan Kennedy as like their realtor or their real estate resource. Like it was, I was pretty low on that spectrum, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So by just contacting them basically regularly, you're now up here, not, right?
Yeah, I got up here from, it's not my personality. It's not like my charming charisma. Like I got up there through like just hard work and like 15 years of not giving up, basically. Consistency, showing up to the office every day without fail or with rare exception for a scheduled day off, and treating it like a business and just working harder than everyone else. Because realtors aren't exactly known for like showing up
Yeah.
when you don't
show up.
have to, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like nobody's making you
Totally.
show up.
Totally, yes.
And that's the double-edged sword to the profession to which we belong. It's so easy to not show up at a high level because who's gonna fire me if I don't?
So did you have your own office? When did you get your own office?
Like my own office space?
Yeah. Because I'm finding it hard to concentrate if I'm just, out
Mhm.
amongst.
I was probably like, so for the first couple years at the other brokerage, I was in a cubicle. And
Okay,
yeah, it was hard. It is embarrassing sometimes to make calls out in the open that everybody can hear, and like, I don't know what to say.
but you just
You
did
just
it.
get over it. Like I had a wife and kids, like we need food on the table. So like what are you gonna do? Not make the call because you're afraid of what somebody a couple of cubicles over is gonna think about your phone call? We do have prospecting booths.
Yeah, right.
So like if that's a hang up for you,
Mhm.
go lock your door, go lock yourself in the prospecting booth and crank out 3 hours worth of phone calls. There's no excuses to not be like doing the work that it takes for us to be successful in this business.
Do you feel like people just don't answer the phone though as much, anymore as like people just want you to text?
People my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is a transition, and that's so true. This age communicates totally different. And I think a lot of people are communicating by text and instant communication a lot more.
Yeah, like if maybe to some degree, I don't want to give too much credence and allow like limiting beliefs of my people aren't going to answer the phone, because all of a sudden, if I buy into that, I've got built-in excuses to not do it.
That's true.
Slide into their DMs. Is that what the kids say these days?
Mhm.
Text them. Okay, here, so like all my lead generation calls are made out of Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss. Okay, so Sally has made 187 dials.
No, Follow-Up Boss is,
It's Command, like
Okay,
it's
yeah, that's what I thought.
it's a
That's what I
different
thought.
version of Command. Like
okay, but,
it's more robust. There's more bells and whistles. That's why it
Okay.
costs money.
and that's why you're doing it. But I could just
Well,
do.
I get the instant feedback of, okay,
Okay.
let's see, what has Sally done? What have we done as a team in the last 7 days?
And how many
Okay.
people do you have?
Sally's made 140 dials. She's had 15 conversations that last in excess of 2 minutes.
Okay.
So it doesn't track how many like 30-second phone calls occur. Certainly some of those 140
So,
calls were 30-second phone calls, but so 15 of them were phone conversations that lasted for a minimum 2 minutes. She has set 2 appointments. She has sent 48 text messages, and she sent 91 emails. So, and then so she's leading the team in the last 7 days as far as
Oh,
points.
so and this is just the last 7 days.
This is the last 7 days.
Okay.
So I am slacking. I've made 25 dials. I've had 6 conversations. So that's like 1 in 4. 1 in 4 of my dials have led to a phone conversation that lasts in excess of 2 minutes. And I've set 1 appointment. So Tana slacking. She's our admin, so she's not, Kelsey is not making lead generation stuff. Kristen just barely got to this team. She does not know what direction is up right now. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, people are less likely to answer their phones, but don't give yourself built-in excuses to not make the calls. Text them, email them, go knock on their door, hit them up on social media.
I do try to do that a lot with social media and text or.
Yeah, just get creative.
I need to do it all.
And there's stuff that can be done that is certainly not gonna like show up here. So maybe Ty's number is less, but maybe he's had more face-to-face interactions with people than I have. It's just not like quantifiably showing up on the leaderboard and follow-up us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you should do that. You should have a face-to-face.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, that might show something.
Sorry, Kason and Aaron, I'm on something, but it's not showing up on the Zoom screen, so I don't think you can see that up there, can you? There's 2 computers going on, so it's super confusing, so I apologize you can't see this, but Aaron, you've already seen it. Okay, before we move on, any other thoughts about this conversation that we're having right now? Anything worth discussion and anything on your mind?
I don't think so. We just have to do it.
Just do it. Your sphere will generate new, repeat, or referral business. 4 laws, law 2, feed it every day. I feel like we're going in circles. Okay, testimonials and reviews. Man, I feel bad. These guys are missing out because okay, get testimonials, get reviews from your people, and find creative ways to put them to good use. What's an example? Like, what can we do to get reviews from people? Or like, where can we get reviews?
Just ask any of you know, that's what I was told at first. Just have them, they don't have to necessarily say anything about real estate, but if they've known you for a long time, just the person you are.
Okay.
Do you think that's good? I mean, since I don't have that many.
Ideally, I do feel like it should be about, if I'm a realtor and this is my realtor business page, people can see through a fake, not fake, but people can see through like a cherry picked review. We've got to earn the right to earn their business. So like one easy place to harvest reviews is a Google business page.
Do you do other review types?
I've used Zillow as my main review platform in the past, where I spent most time of my resources like harvesting reviews on Zillow's platform.
Okay.
I've gone away from that just because like they're not good for the realtor, I guess. Like they are a real estate brokerage. They're wanting us to give them all the information so they can take our information, sell it as leads, and repackage them and sell us our own leads back to us. It just doesn't make sense.
And so were you buying leads from them?
Yes. So so Google is a safer, in my opinion, a safer platform for us to be harvesting reviews on than Zillow or a Facebook business page. So we've got 54 reviews on here. They're mostly good. I think there was one fussy person who did like a 3-star review that I was annoyed at, but everything else is 5 stars. You can, take this, you could post it on your socials, you can put it on a mailer, you can put it on a billboard. Like there's a bunch of different creative things that can be done with your reviews. But work hard on making sure that they are authentic and like, it's not just my mom loves me and she's going to write me a review. Like people are going to see through that. But I get it, when you're new, it's sometimes like that's all you got. So just do the best with what you have. So I would highly recommend creating a Google business page for yourself and like getting started there. Believe it or not, there are 2 Daniel Kennedys in our office.
Really?
Yes. I keep hoping the other guy leaves. This is me, but this is very
What are
old.
the chances of having?
So weird. So you can probably get this set up on your own. There's maybe helpful resources that can get you started on a Google business page. Get a bunch of photos posted up. Just add some content in there, add your open houses on there, maybe do a couple, it's like social media almost. You can just like put posts on there. Okay, sorry. Let me get back to the actual content. Okay, Karen, can you read that for us?
To succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with a database with the intent of building close relationships. Gary Keller.
What are your thoughts? Where are you at with your database, Karen?
Like,
Square one?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Are you on command?
Yes, I do have a couple people in there from, some transactions that I had.
Okay.
But yes, I am not great at the computer.
You're a people person, not a
Yes. Yes.
systems person.
Yes, but I'm been busy late, but I'm wanting to get together with Hunter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm not like a people person by nature.
Mhm.
I'm more of like an operational systems type person,
Uh-huh.
not like totally over on that spectrum,
Right.
but it's just like, it doesn't like the people aspect it's not like my nature of my personality. So
Mhm.
I guess what I'm saying is like, whatever you consider yourself, don't like fall into a trap of, oh, I'm this or I'm that. I can never be this or I can never be that. That's not who I am. It's just not true.
Right.
You can become whatever you want to become in the real estate business. I can't tell you the number of people 15 years ago who were like, you're becoming a realtor? Like they're so curious to me. Like, I just don't really think of you as a realtor type of person, Dan. But it's like, all right, that's fine. You're welcome to feel that way. This is what I'm doing. I will stop at nothing to become successful. And so like whatever your behavior is, whatever your personality style is, there is a place for you here if you're willing to work for it.
And why did you decide to do it? What?
Why not? Like this is a profession that the sky is the limit. And
And is that what you
I
thought at first?
can do whatever I want,
Mhm.
whenever I want,
As much?
because of the real estate profession and the business I've created from selling real estate. And I mean,
But
it's
did you know that?
stroke of luck, I guess, just fell into a lucky situation for me. And I mean, I was young, I was 27, like was working at a kind of a dead end job that was great for college, but it was time to for something else. And I just kind of, I guess, like my dad was a realtor for a few years
So you knew.
back when I was born,
Oh.
but he got out of the business in 1981 when the interest rates hit 18%.
That's-
And like he and my mother, who lived through him being a realtor and with 18% interest rates, they remember what that was like. So they were concerned about me and my young family, and just like having to go through like maybe what their experience was from 1979 to 1982 or whatever the years were,
Mm.
because they knew what it was like. But like I said,
But
anybody
he
can
probably
make
would have
it.
done well if he would have.
Yeah, I mean, he went into something else and did great in it, and it was, I don't know why things work out in life the way they do, but
Because 1991, 6%, I mean, well, it was 8%, my first house.
okay. So and I was like, just the quote here, I was committed to frequent contact with the database,
Mhm.
and I had to force myself to learn to build close relationships and like put yourself out there in ways that to create that top of mind awareness. But you're not going to be able to do this at a high level or at the level required for you to do the things that you want to do if we don't have a database. Communicate systematically, segment your database based on interests, passions, etc. So we talked a little bit about segments. You could segment it in golfers. All right, these are my golfing buddies. I'm going to create a tag with all my golfing friends. Or here's my investor tag, and like these people are my investors. These are my dog lovers. These are my top referrers. These are my top 150.
So you just have groups, basically.
I have many groups in my database. Yes. Very critical to communicate at a high level. These are my potential buyers. These are potential sellers. You can customize your messaging around the segments. All right, I'm going to send this dog mailer or dog tips to these people, or I'm going to send these baking tips to these people, or the community event to these people, or these are my out-of-state investors. Like they have no clue what's going on in Utah. Like they need this update. Communicate with value. Okay, this is a little bit here about the 33 touch. 4 touches or 4 quarterly phone calls, the 12 monthly emails, newsletters, market reports, 2 more promotional or direct mail or type stuff. 1 annual face-to-face in-person event. 1 to cement a high-value touch that solidifies the relationship you have just established and opens the door for future interactions. 36 to convert. Okay,
Is that?
this is page 30. For you Zoomers, we're on page 35, by the way, or on slide 35. Hopefully it correlates to page 35. I don't know. Sorry, I kind of messed up the Zoom screen share. I apologize. Hopefully, if you're looking at your manuals at home, you're able to figure out where we're at. We're on slide 35. I don't know if it correlates exactly with the pages that you're looking at in your manual.
6.10 for my manual.
Oh, Scott says it's 6.10. If you are having a problem saying, okay, well, where do I start with my database? Well, you pull out your phone. Go to your contacts. Karen, go to your contacts on your phone. Everybody do this. Scroll down to the very bottom. How many people are,
Does it say? Oh, 915.
so you've got, how many do you have, Scott?
Total, I have 448.
Joel, how many do you have?
I'm in 195.
You kids truly do not use phones anymore.
Yeah. Or at least just people I know from school.
Okay. And that's fine. Everybody's gonna have a different number. I think I somehow, like, all my Facebook contacts are somehow synced to my phone contacts, which is kind of annoying. Plus all the agents I've done deals with, all the people, like, I'm not like a phone number deleter. I've got 2,507 in my contacts. It's probably too many because I do not need all these people's phone numbers.
Mine was 1,000 something, so.
So I mean, this is an obvious place to start, right? Oh, Betty, Lisa, Dave, like, all right, let me be, yes, I should have this person in my database. And so I can start communicating in a systematic way with them about real estate. Think about anybody you do business with, your doctor, your dentist, your concrete guy, your CPA, like, network with these people and be there for them. Make sure they understand who you are, what you're doing, and that you're available to them as their real estate resource. You can't be secret agents.
What's the difference between a lead and a contact? Is a lead is something that you generated that someone might already be interested in. For example, you went to an open house, someone gives you their number, and then contacts, is that just people you already have in your database and you're trying to convert?
There
them?
is like a textbook differentiation between a lead and a contact. I'm not exactly sure what it
That
is.
sounded right. A lead is somebody that is,
That may already be interested.
or
You're just
may be
kinda-
interested. in
A lead is
either.
further down the funnel than a contact.
Mm.
So like a sales funnel,
Right.
yeah, contact, lead, client, deal type, like a lead is more further down the road.
And who would you consider a high value touch person? What kind of people is that? Is that someone that? What, I mean, what would be a
Is it
high
on
value-
this?
Yeah.
Where's
Someone
that
that's a man, right in the middle. High value touch, that's a little. A high value touch that solidifies a relationship.
Here's an example. In this past month, what we're working on right now is just like a pop by. So we created a little pack, a pop by, just to drop by unannounced kind of at somebody's house. It was a bag of tortilla chips and like a jar of like cheese, queso stuff, and a little note. Okay, I did not make this up.
But it was, yes.
Just a note that said not Joe Average Realtor. And
That's
then,
kind of cute, actually.
so just like a little bundle package
Yeah.
that you just, and then like I did it for 40 people and I drove up and down the valley and knocked on their door, like people who know us, or some of them are like leads. I've never met them in person. I needed an excuse to like, hey, I need to see this Blaine Harris guy with the house in Provo, who a seller lead that came in that like won't pick up the phone. And like he said once, yeah, I need to sell, but then he's gone dark. I'm going to go. I didn't need the nachos to do that. I could have gone, just knocked on his door. But so that might be an example of a way to like get that face to face.
Working home.
And does someone here help with those buys, those
No.
typical bike.
You
Because
can
I've heard of those before, like little package, little treat things, but.
At my other
nobody here does
company
that.
I was at, they had somebody that would make, I could find out for you and,
I could just ask them all. I just think.
Well, and they-
I Google search real estate pop buys or
Yeah.
on Pinterest or
Oh, yeah.
whatever,
Say
like
pot.
pop buy.
pop eyes. So you're pop and buy, POP.
Oh, okay.
We've done, so the nachos is just the most recent one. We've done like little plastic, like movie popcorn container, like, like this big. Like right when COVID went down and like people were like, oh, like don't leave, like stay home, stay safe, that type of stuff. It was like, all right, well, while we're stuck at home, let's have like a movie night pop by. So we just got one of those, filled it with like some microwave popcorn, some like boxed candy.
That's cute.
And it was like, here's
What's
a note,
Yeah.
a note on it. I can't remember what it said, but it's just something that made sense. That was probably $3 per unit. The nachos is a little more expensive because the queso is like $7 a piece. There's hundreds of different things you could get creative with and create for one of those. Or another example, like movies. We do movie events where we've met a lot of people through movies. Movies are very expensive,
Mhm.
but it's a great way to do it. There's Keller Splash, there's Jakers, we book restaurants and have like 100 people over all for like a Kennedy group dinner night. There is,
You usually do that once a year.
yeah, well, no, the past 5 years, we've done it 3 times. We've booked every year, we book the Linden Pool and you can have 1,200 people in there and it's only $1,500. So it's like really affordable as far as like an event.
Friends of friends, you can
Yeah.
invite. It's like,
Yeah.
bring your friends. Yeah.
Create an Eventbrite link and force them to register through Eventbrite. So
Oh. Great idea.
you're retaining their phone number, email address. You're asking them on there to answer the question, do you have any real estate needs this year? So yeah, in person, face-to-face events, or pop buys would be a great way to, like, that's what I would consider a high value touch.
Another Popeye that my old mentor used to do was in October. You're supposed to, do your fire alarm and change your batteries and stuff. So he would pop by with batteries.
Oh,
And
those are
reminders.
expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Those 9-volt batteries, they're like $10.
Yeah.
That's nice of him.
Yeah.
Or her.
I can't remember others. but
Yeah, just get creative, Google it. There's a
But
ton of stuff
Pinterest
on
is
the
a
internet.
Great idea.
Let's see. Service your database. Your job is to build a community and serve the community. Another thing that just popped into my mind, like go to get like a neighborhood park, get like a food truck, have a bounce house, like do something in the neighborhood, do a street party, buy pizza for your kids or grandkids soccer team, like just like do stuff to get yourself out there as a realtor. Invest in your community. Service all leads, plan for lead follow-up program to leverage every opportunity. Servicing leads is critical. Why go through the effort of generating the leads if you're just going to drop the ball? Who's Craig Swap, the attorney? You guys know Craig Swap? What's his motto?
One call. That's
One call, that's all. Do not be a Craig Swap realtor where they get one call, that's all. It's not going to work. If you can muster up one call for a lead, quit now because it's not going to work for you. These people need excessive follow-up for an extended period of time. I just met with a guy, I had a listing appointment at his house a few days ago. I met him as a for sale by owner 8 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, Fisbo 8 years ago. In 2000, I've been following up with this guy since 2014, finally got an appointment with him. A couple months ago, a lender who we work with sent us a lead, said, here's this guy's name. This is a hot lead. Stay close to this one. I passed it along to a team member. When I pass a lead on to a team member, I don't want to be babysitting or micromanaging the lead. I expect them to take good care of it. 23 days later, the lender who sent us the referral reaches out. Hey, Dan, any luck with this guy? Like, he's ready to go. Like I just got off the phone with him. Like it's like, oh, okay. Let me check follow-up, boss. One call, that's all. We called him one time 22 days ago and crickets for 3 weeks since then. He needed to be called. And the agent,
Like daily or? Or at
no,
least-
just use your best judgment. Like,
Right.
you don't want to harass the person, but you gotta, like, one call, left a voicemail, and then like, that's not it, right?
Mhm.
So I had to yank the lead from that agent on the team, gave it to somebody else who went and showed him 3 houses, and he just closed on a $600,000 purchase. There's an $18,000 commission, like literally. And the first agent, like, I don't know, may have been annoyed that I yanked the lead from them, but after 3 weeks of crickets, like, sorry, you dropped the ball. And
Obviously, because he was really ready.
right,
You were very fortunate that.
we were very lucky that we were still able to reel this person in.
Well, and the mortgage company called you.
He's a close partner of ours, and like, and so we work well together. So don't be a Craig Swap agent. One call, that's all, does not work. You'll be out of the business so quick, your head will spin. So service all leads, do the opportunities, campaigns, set tasks, create tags, do action plans. There's probably a different session of like specifically for command and action plans, but you've got to create some campaigns, like when a lead comes in, that there's like some automation. You can't rely just on the automation. Like, you've got to make the phone calls, make the text, make the contact, really, really go after them, treat everything like gold.
Well, I feel like I have to keep it somewhere, keep it in command, because I do things a little bit, trying anyway. I have a big group of women. It's like worldwide, over 1,000 people, but in Salt Lake, maybe 400 or 5. And so we do things all the time. Like we have events. I used to always do a game night
Oh, fun.
and once a month. And so I need to start doing that again, but
That's awesome.
I go to their things. Like this last weekend, I spoke to probably 50 people over the weekend,
That's great.
So that's kind of what I've been doing. And I have had one person in July, so.
That's cool. Get help, check out Command, your database on Connect. Oh, there's videos like that'll help you out, tutorials. So once again, 4 laws: build a database, feed it every day, communicate systematically, service all leads. Trust in your database. This is page 45, I believe, or slide 45 for the Zoomers. Follow the 4 laws. Don't quit too soon. The 36 touch campaign takes time to yield results. Like we said, like just because Scott's got 350 people in there, it takes the time. You got to put in the work to harvest. You got to water the grass. Think long-term, always come from care and service. The real estate business is a relationship business. Any ahas? I think we're about done, guys.
Actually, I have a question.
Karen,
Isn't it I think it's 90 days, right? That, like when you what is it, contact somebody or anyway, that fruition, I don't know. It's every 90 day.
I think every lead might be on their own unique timeline, but like 90 days from now, like the calls I'm making today are probably gonna yield results 90 days from now.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that might be what you're thinking of,
Yes.
but sometimes leads are like, yeah, come over now. Sometimes it takes 9 years. You just never really know for
So you
sure.
can't, and you don't want to give up on those
Yeah.
because,
Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Daily success systems. Okay, this is like accountability for you guys with the Ignite coach, tracking numbers here. I'm not going to go over that with you. The canned stuff of they have an obligation to warn you about do not call lists. If you violate that, like this is Keller Williams covering their butts. So like they're not on the hook for you calling people on the do not call list. I engage this sounds like an affirmation to me. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Mindset. Mindset is 80% of real estate. If you think you can, you are right. If you think you can't, you're also right. Like it's so critical to be having a positive mindset, just so those negative thoughts or like, that little voice like,